Before cities, before walls, before metal weapons, before farms, before kings, humans lived in a world where almost everything stronger than them could kill them. Before we became the animal at the top, we were the animal, watching the darkness, listening, waiting, trying to decide if the sound behind the grass was wind or teeth. Imagine walking through tall grass 100,000 years ago. The sun is setting. The air is getting colder. Your group is somewhere behind you. But for one moment, you are alone. Then you hear something move. You turn. Two yellow eyes catch the last light of the day. A cave lion, larger than the lions we know now, built for cold landscapes, built for muscle, silence, and killing. And it is looking directly at you. You have no gun, no metal blade, no walls, no vehicle, no hospital waiting if you survive badly. Your teeth are flat. Your nails are almost useless. You cannot outrun it. You cannot overpower it. You cannot bite it back. So how are you still here? How did our ancestors survive in a world full of animals that were faster, stronger, heavier, sharper, and better designed to kill? That question is the beginning of the human story. Because for millions of years, humans were not the obvious winners. We were not born kings of nature. We were not built like predators. We were soft-skinned, slow-growing, fragile, and loud. Our babies could not even walk for a year. Our night vision was weak. Our sense of smell was poor. Our bodies had no claws, no fangs, no armor, and no venom. By normal animal standards, we were a bad design. And yet, we survived. Not only survived, we outlasted the predators that once hunted us. So what happened? To understand that, we have to begin with the animals that actually saw ancient humans as food. Now place the first map point in South Africa. In 1924, Raymond Dart studied the skull of a young Australopithecus africanus, later known as the Taung Child. For a long time, this fossil became one of the most famous reminders that early human ancestors were vulnerable. The child was about 3 years old, and the marks around the eye sockets were later interpreted by many researchers as evidence of eagle predation. Not a dramatic fight with a leopard, not a heroic death. A child taken by a bird of prey. That is how exposed our ancestors were. Even before lions, hyenas, and saber-toothed cats entered the story, the sky itself could be dangerous. For early hominins, death did not always come roaring. Sometimes it came silently from above. That one fossil tells us something uncomfortable. Before humans became hunters, we were hunted. And the predators around us were not small threats. They were specialists. Millions of years of evolution had sharpened them for killing. Now move the map across Ice Age landscapes. In the Americas, saber-toothed cats like Smilodon were among the most terrifying predators of the Pleistocene. Smilodon fatalis was powerfully built, heavier and more muscular than many modern big cats, with long upper canine teeth designed for precise killing bites. It was not built like a cheetah. It was built like an ambush machine. Short bursts, explosive strength, massive forelimbs, a body made to grab prey, control it, and finish it. If you were small, isolated, injured, or careless, you did not get a second chance. Then, there were short-faced bears, giant bears of the Ice Age, larger and longer-legged than modern bears, powerful enough to dominate a landscape. They may not have been the simple hyper-carnivore monsters people once imagined, because ancient diets are complicated and debated. But they were enormous, dangerous animals that no human would want to meet alone. There were cave hyenas in Europe and Asia, larger and stronger than modern hyenas. They could crush bones and drag carcasses into dens. They competed with humans for caves, meat, bones, and space. There were cave lions, among the great predators of the mammoth steppe. There were wolves, scimitar-toothed cats, leopards, bears, crocodiles near water, snakes in grass, birds of prey above children. Every landscape had its own danger. Africa, Europe, Asia, the Americas. Everywhere humans went, something had already learned how to kill. And compared with those animals, humans looked almost ridiculous. A chimpanzee is far stronger than a human of the same size. Chimps have powerful arms, large canine teeth, and climbing ability we lost long ago. And even chimpanzees are killed by leopards. So what were we? We were weaker than many primates, slower than most predators, bad at night, poor at smelling danger, easy to injure, visible because we stood upright, and burdened with children who screamed, cried, and needed years of protection. If survival were decided only by muscle, humans should have disappeared. But survival was not decided only by muscle. That was our first advantage. The predators were built for strength. Humans were built for solutions. And the first great solution was fire. Now move the map to Wonderwork Cave in South Africa. Deep inside this cave, researchers found evidence of fire use around 1 million years ago. Microscopic ash, burned bone, and heated materials suggest early human relatives were using fire far earlier than the age of cities, farming, or modern humans. We have to be careful. Using fire does not always mean making fire from nothing. Early humans may have first collected fire from natural sources and kept it alive. But even that would have changed everything. Because fire created a circle of safety. Predators that ruled the dark hesitated at the edge of flame. Fire gave light to animals with weak night vision. It gave warmth to bodies without fur. It made camps less helpless after sunset. Before fire, night belonged more fully to predators. After fire, humans stole part of the night back. Think about that. A small group of fragile primates sitting around flames while lions, hyenas, and leopards moved in the dark. The fire did not make humans stronger. It made the darkness less powerful, and it gave humans something predators did not have. Extra time. After sunset, most animals slow down, hide, or hunt. Humans gathered, talked, watched, planned, made tools, taught children, remembered where danger came from. Fire did not only protect the body, it protected memory. It turned night into a classroom. And once humans cooked food, fire changed the body too. Cooked food is softer, safer, easier to chew, easier to digest. It can provide more usable energy. That energy mattered. Brains are expensive organs. They burn energy constantly. So fire may have helped feed the very brain that later learned how to control fire better. The circle becomes strange. Humans used fire. Fire helped feed bigger brains. Bigger brains made humans better at using fire. Predators had claws. Humans had feedback loops. But fire alone did not save us. The second weapon was endurance. Humans are terrible sprinters compared with many animals. A big cat can explode forward faster than we can react. A horse can outrun us. An antelope can leave us behind. But humans have something unusual. We can keep going. We sweat across our skin. We cool ourselves while moving. We walk and run long distances in heat. We can track, follow, and pressure animals over time. This is the idea behind persistence hunting. You do not outrun the animal in one burst. You follow it. You keep it moving. It runs, stops, overheats, runs again. You track it across the landscape. You read footprints, broken grass, disturbed soil, fresh dung, a turn in the trail. Eventually, under the right conditions, the animal tires. The human does not win with speed. The human wins with patience. This did not happen everywhere. It was not the only hunting strategy. But it shows something deep about us. Humans turned weakness into method. We could not win the sprint, so we changed the contest. That is one of the oldest human tricks. If the game favors the predator, change the game. The third weapon was pattern recognition. Ancient humans survived because they learned to read the world like a message. A broken twig meant something passed here. A print in mud meant weight, direction, and time. A sudden silence in birds could mean danger. A smell could mean a carcass. A shadow could mean a predator. A cave with too many bones might belong to hyenas. A waterhole at dusk might be a trap. A certain valley might be safe in the morning and deadly at night. Predators had instincts. Humans had shared interpretation. One person noticed. Another remembered. A third told the children. The next generation began with more knowledge than the last. That is how humans survived. Not by being born with perfect instincts, but by inheriting warnings. Saber-toothed cats ambush near cover. Do not walk alone at dusk. Crocodiles wait near the water. Do not let children wander near the bank. Hyenas come at night. Keep the fire alive. A predator killed someone there. Do not sleep there again. Every death became information. Every mistake became teaching. Every fear became a rule. Do you realize how powerful that is? A lion cannot warn its grandchildren through a story told decades later. A human can. That may be the real beginning of our dominance. Not killing predators, remembering them. But the greatest weapon was not fire, endurance, or tools. It was each other. Now move the map to Dmanisi, in Georgia. There, researchers found the skull of an early human ancestor dating to about 1.77 million years ago. This individual had lost almost all their teeth years before death. That is a serious problem. Without teeth, chewing tough food becomes difficult. Raw meat becomes difficult. Many wild plants become difficult. And yet, this individual survived for years. We cannot know exactly how. Maybe softer food was available. Maybe food was processed. Maybe others helped. But the possibility is powerful. A toothless predator usually dies. A toothless human ancestor might be fed. Now move the map to Shanidar Cave in Iraq. There, archaeologists found a Neanderthal known as Shanidar I. He had survived severe injuries. Damage to the face, a withered or badly impaired arm, a limp. Hearing problems have also been suggested. He lived into what was old age for a Neanderthal, maybe 35 to 45 years. He could not have survived easily alone. His bones suggest a life of injury, healing, and continued survival. That means care, and care is one of the most underrated weapons in human evolution. A lion with a serious injury may starve. A human with an injury may be protected. A wolf that cannot hunt may die. A human who cannot hunt may still be fed, remembered, and valued. This changed everything, because a group that cares for the injured keeps knowledge alive. An old person may not run fast, but they remember droughts. A disabled person may not hunt, but they can make tools, watch children, tell stories, notice patterns, teach skills. Human survival was not only about physical usefulness in the moment. It was about group memory. We survived because we carried each other long enough for knowledge to accumulate. Would you rather have 10 strong individuals alone, or a group that protects its weakest long enough to keep its wisdom? That is the difference. Predators had bodies. Humans had society, and society made us dangerous. The next weapon was distance. For a long time, humans avoided predators because getting close was suicide. But tools changed the distance. A thrown stone lets a weak arm hit harder than a fist. A spear lets a soft body create a sharp boundary. A group with spears is no longer a group of prey animals. It is a moving wall of points. Now move the map to Germany. At Schöningen, archaeologists found ancient wooden spears, often dated around 300,000 years old, though some newer studies have debated the exact age. These were not simple sticks. They were carefully shaped wooden weapons, associated with horse remains and evidence of hunting. This matters because it shows that early humans or their relatives were not only scavenging scraps and running from predators, they were planning hunts, using weapons, working together, understanding wood, understanding balance, understanding distance. A spear is a simple object with a revolutionary message. You do not need claws if you can make a point. You do not need fangs if you can throw danger away from your body. You do not need to be the strongest animal if 5 of you can stand together and aim. This is where humans begin to become terrifying in a new way. A predator understands teeth. It understands claws. It understands flight and chase. But a spear thrown from a distance is different. It turns intelligence into impact. Then came language. No fossil preserves the first full sentence. But coordinated hunting, teaching, planning, and warning all became more powerful as communication improved. With language, humans could assign roles. You go left, you wait near the trees. You drive the animal toward the mud. You protect the children. You watch the ridge. You carry fire. You bring the spears. Other predators cooperate, but human cooperation became flexible. A wolf pack hunts with instinct and signals. Humans hunt with imagination. They can plan a trap that has not happened yet. They can describe a place not currently visible. They can warn about an animal no one else has seen. They can invent a strategy, test it, improve it, and teach it. That is why the human group became more dangerous than the human body. One human alone was vulnerable. 10 humans with memory, fire, tools, and language were something else entirely. Now move the map across the late Pleistocene world. By around 50,000 years ago, modern humans were expanding across more regions: Africa, Eurasia, Australia, eventually the Americas. And during the late Ice Age and after it, many large animals disappeared: saber-toothed cats, cave lions, short-faced bears, dire wolves, giant ground sloths, mammoths in many places. Terror birds long before that in South America's deeper past. The causes are still debated. Climate changed, habitats shifted, ice sheets melted, vegetation changed. Human hunting and pressure may have contributed differently in different regions. It was not one simple event. It was not one simple villain. But the pattern is still remarkable. The world of giant predators and giant prey faded, and humans remained. We did not survive because we were stronger. We survived because we were adaptable. If predators ruled the night, we made fire. If animals outran us, we tracked them longer. If teeth were better than our teeth, we made blades. If claws were better than our nails, we made spears. If one human was weak, the group became the weapon. If one generation learned a lesson, the next generation started ahead. That is the secret. Every biological weakness forced an invention. No fur? Make clothing. Weak teeth? Cook food. Poor claws? Make tools. Bad night vision? Carry fire. Slow sprint? Use endurance and traps. Fragile children? Build families and groups around care. Short memory? Tell stories. Death? Turn it into warning. For millions of years, humans were afraid. And that fear mattered. Fear made us watch. Fear made us listen. Fear made us gather close to fire. Fear made us teach children not to wander. Fear made us mark dangerous places in memory. Fear made us invent. Predators shaped us. The cave lion, the leopard, the hyena, the bear, the crocodile, the eagle, the wolf, they all helped build the human mind. Not by kindness, by pressure. They forced us to become more alert, more social, more inventive, more cooperative, and more dangerous. So if you could stand in that tall grass 100,000 years ago, with the sun setting and yellow eyes watching you from the dark, you would feel something ancient, the knowledge that your body alone is not enough. But you are not only a body. Behind you is fire. Behind you is the group. Behind you are tools. Behind you are stories of everyone who was killed before you, and everyone who learned from it. Behind you are a million years of fear turned into intelligence. That is how humans survived. Not because we were fearless. Because we were afraid and did something with the fear. The predator had muscle. We had memory. The predator had claws. We had hands. The predator had teeth. We had tools. The predator had instinct. We had teaching. And over time, that was enough. Before humans became the hunters, we were the hunted. Before we ruled landscapes, we listened for footsteps in the dark. Before we built cities, we built circles of fire. And before we became the animal other animals feared, we were the fragile creature that survived by standing together and refusing to forget. That is why you are here. Because somewhere, long ago, your ancestors heard something move in the grass. And instead of disappearing forever, they learned. They warned the others. They picked up fire. They sharpened wood. They stayed together. And the darkness, for the first time, had something to fear back.